Here we go. Number 33. Number 33 of the Darkness to Light Godcast with myself, Jim McFadyen. Thank you again for joining me. Merry Christmas to you. This has been recorded on Boxing Day, 26th of December 2024. And my intention was to... I tried to get something out before Christmas. It just didn't happen. There was so much going on. It was so busy. And just the mayhem that everybody was, going through and experiencing and living, and just see it. It was busy, and even the choices and the awareness that I've got in terms of how I navigate my way through Christmas. Of course, you get caught up in it. So it was a busy time. It's just now kind of starting to calm down on the other side, and I've been thinking a lot about the year, and this podcast is going to be about 2024. Looking back, a wee recap, just to relive it and to capture it and to record it. I think it's absolutely worth recording. And then also where we're at just now, and then the most important bit, where we're going in 2025. All of us, the intention with this work and what we're doing, my plans within the vortex, the mission, the people running about it, what we're doing. There's so much good stuff going on just now. It starts again tomorrow. I am going on a wee bit of working holiday with my wife. We're going down to meet Michael and Fern for 6 days, and a big congratulations to them who got engaged on Christmas Eve down in Spain. So just really excited, haven't seen them for ages, missing the Waynes, which is what they feel like. They feel like part of the family. Thinking back to this time last year, we were gearing up towards the start of all of this, what's been created this year, and how exciting it was from probably October, November onwards. Michael and Fern were, we were making plans. Basically, we were making plans as to what we're going to do, bringing the skill sets together. And then the whole course of the year to where we're at just now, a year on, a really great time of year. This Christmas is a great time of year. I was listening to a spiritual teacher that I listened to, and he was talking about Christmas spirit, and how certain times and certain events and occasions, like the birthday of a child, or a birthday, or a wedding, or when you're in different places and different different events in the calendar, how they can carry a different kind of energy. And I think Christmas is definitely like that. The Christmas spirit that he was talking about, I've been thinking a lot about that since I heard it on Christmas Eve. And how this time of year, no matter, certainly my experience of it, no matter where you're at, or what's going on within your life, it's when you stop and you get a chance to kind of take stock what's going on about you, and have that space to spend time with the people that you love, and switch the phone off and get a break from the stuff that you need to do every single day, the work stuff, the exchange of your life for the paper and the money, and the things that we need to do. And even if you love doing it, which I do, you're still exchanging your time, and everybody's certainly at our stage, at the range stage. My Waynes are up, they're not away yet, but they're up, 23 and 20. We're at a different stage, me and my girl, and it's very interesting looking back. It's a great time, I think, Christmas, to look back. I had some fantastic memories over the last Christmas Eve. It probably started into Christmas morning, beautiful kind of meditation Christmas morning, thinking about all the good old days, my mum, and just all of that. And there's so many things that come up when you sit in silence, when you sit in meditation, when you go inside and you start to reflect. Things that catch your attention. It's really significant, especially those that are no longer here. Those the ones that you miss, the loved ones that have passed before us. It's a great time of year. And Christmas, 4 years ago now, 2020 was my mum's last Christmas. So I kind of knew. I think at the time I was very aware of how sick she was, and obviously hoping she was going to get better. But kind of on one hand, you felt it was going to be our time, that might be our last Christmas, and really savouring it. Because of that, it was magical. It was a great time. Just that whole period, so it's amazing. It's amazing how quick it goes. It's amazing how fast life accelerates. You know, I used to hear my dad saying it all the time, you know, like how quick it is, and like savour it, and aye, and then it's like, you know, you get to the point that we're at now at 53, and definitely getting older, and creaking and bits and pieces, and, you know, ageing, and our kids are growing up, and, you know, thinking back to all the incredible Christmases we had, you know, all the stuff that we did with the kids when they were young, with, you know, the presents and the, you know, the surprises and just all the kind of stories that go with it. It's a brilliant time of year, and it's a time to, you know, definitely stop, you know, the time to, if you can take your foot off the gas and give yourself a break from your reality and your work and everything, you know, social media. It's a great time if you can, you know, especially with the indulgence that leads up to Christmas, to give yourself a break. It's no easy this time if you're lying about and there's not much else to do except watch the telly, as most people do, and stuff their faces, whether it's with, you know, food or booze or bath or whatever it is. You know, it's a great time of year if you use it correctly. I think if you get outside, as I was yesterday, I went a big Christmas Day, managed to get a walk for about an hour with the dog down the falls of the Clyde. Wind was blowing, it was freezing cold, it was beautiful, and, you know, just been out in nature. It was actually quite busy. It was really interesting to see the amount of people out and about. It was lovely to see people out, families, you know, on Christmas Day, out for a walk in nature. It was absolutely magical, and it was down in New Lanark. Spent a bit of time down in New Lanark, and this time last year when we were putting the plans for the how it was going to go together, how we're going to basically design the year, and then seeing how, you know, all the different stuff that I created, the programs, the events, the workshops, the retreats, you know, the one day events, the corporate, the different corporate stuff, all the different, I suppose, bits to the Vortex, different types of work that I do. But when Michael and Fern came in, and we were basically putting it all together, and we laid it out on a bit of paper, you know, a big mind map, and basically showing all the different areas of it. You know, then the scale of, I suppose, you know, what we're trying to do, and then how we're going to do it. You know, it took some absolute, for the beginning, you know, something that's never really had. There's always been an intention in terms of where I'm going with it, and it's dead simple. You know, I like to help people. I like to basically get up in the morning and tend to myself, and then feel as good as I can, and then pass these tools and techniques on to the world. That's basically what I do every single day, 7 days a week. It never stops. But when it came to, you know, the realisation, we put it down on paper, and I kind of knew what I had, but when you actually see it in black and white, in effect, and what you've actually got, and how it all ties together, and then, you know, I remember taking them through the wheel of your life for the first time, down in New Lanark, when I was explaining how, you know, the system of the Vortex works, how the programme works, what the programme actually is. It's all about intentional living. It's all about all these different things that you kind of really need to do. Don't have a choice. If you want to make it better, you need this to work. But then how it feeds into, you know, the entire system of how everything gets better. You know, the intention is to make everything better in your life. And I remember sitting there in New Lanark Hotel and just watching the two of them, just, all right, it just made sense. It explained the whole Vortex, you know, and tending to the self, and, you know, being selfish, and being in alignment, and how the pillars, you know, the 3 different pillars that we use, how they come into it. So it was a really exciting time, you know, like sharing with them, kind of probably starting to teach them when they were actually seeing what it was, and sitting down in New Lanark, you know, them planning, right, okay, how do we do it, how do we launch it, how do we get it to the world, and because from nothing to something very, very quickly, inside probably 2 or 3 months, Michael and Fern put together this entire, at least not even the start of it, it was for all intents and purposes, it was done, it was ready to be released to the world, and that happened right at the end of January. It was the last kind of Sunday in January. We did a 1 day to change your life, which is really I suppose, entry level coming in here is probably the 3 events, online or the Breathe and Believes, whether it's, you know, the breathing online, or whether it's a kind of full snapshot workshop in nature. That's a starter for 10, but then once you come to the Friday nights in, you know, what's after that, you know, that's a more intense experience of the Vortex and what I do, you know. And then the 1 day to change your life, that was really it's like a masterclass, I suppose, and that's a real proper snapshot of the entire system of the programme, and it's a full day. It's a really, really intense day, and designing that and putting that together and having that ready for the end of January. The plan was to basically teach this entire day, give those who had been on about the work because some people come in 2, 3, 4, 5, 15, 20 times over the course of the last 6, 7 years since it's been open. And, it was like, what's next? There was no recordings of, me taking them through breathwork and meditation ever. I think there was one done without my knowledge, which I wasn't happy about way back. At Heal Scotland event, somebody recorded it, and I never felt really easy with it. I just didn't feel I was ready, and I wanted the quality to be right. And then all of a sudden, we've got Michael and Fern with all these capabilities, and we had I had a wee bit of money sitting that I was able to go and, invest in what was required to try and get it to the next level with cameras and the setting up the boardroom I'm in just now in the Vortex and recording this into just a recording studio. But it's now became my office as well as energy work and where we have the team meetings and all that kind of stuff. So it was it's a fascinating and exciting time, like all that designing, all that putting it together, all that creation. And then we launched it at the end of January. We put it out to the world at the end of January. And the One Day to Change Your Life, I think it's a fantastic day. Literally, one of the ladies in the group, she put on a comment the other day basically saying it's a big claim. And I remember when it came through, One Day to Change Your Life, that's a huge statement to make. And for me, it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you're in the bones of your arse, if you're suicidal, if you're in the throes of addiction, and up to the nth degree of heroin, or we've seen it all, and I have seen and we have seen what this work does to people, how it impacts lives and it makes things better. So when it came through One Day to Change Your Life, now how quick can you give people, first and foremost to give them relief, the amount of people that come in and be in a place where suicidal, absolutely, is an option for a lot of people. When it gets so bad with mental health and, almost like a death by 1,000 cuts, then easy to see when people reach that place of hopelessness and it becomes too much. So even people coming in at that level and everything else on the spectrum, from mild anxiety, the PTSDs, the traumas, no matter where it comes from, whether it's childhood or physical, mental, sexual, emotional, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what you're coming in with. And we see this time and time again, and how quick it happens is, for me, it's, I expect it because I know how it works when I understand how it all goes together. But when you actually see people, coming in and, getting what it says on the tin, like it's literally one day to change your life. Now, that one day, you go through the process and then fantastic, you leave the day, at the end of the day, if you commit open heart and open mind and just play for probably 7 or 8 hours, you'll leave with a cape on, guaranteed. Your life will never be the same ever again. But then, the challenge that most people face is the very next day you start again. You go to bed the correct way, you prepare for the next day. That best day ever starts the night before, magic. But the next day, then it's like it starts again, and it's that continuous work that's been the difference this year with the people that have got run about it. The original group that came to that One Day to Change Your Life, that first group, which was inner circle, it was by invite only, people I trained with before, people that were kind of close to me, a lot of them very dear to me, and the idea was to launch the One Day to Change Your Life today to see how it went, to get feedback from them, people that I knew as friends I could get some honest feedback from, but also to launch the programme. And the first month we did it for free, we gave it away for free, just to see how it went and to get people around about it. And it was interesting about people that didn't sign up for it, even for free. Which was interesting, to say the least. It was just like expecting everybody to come and get it, and then a lot of them didn't. A lot of them didn't even look at it, And then the second month, it was then the option to participate and to buy it, and that was again the price that came through was £1 a day. £1 a day every single day, 7 days a week. And the way that came through was dead simple. That was basically the fact that, being Scottish and how miserable we are, I always felt if you're taking like 30 quid a month, or if it's whatever it's 360 for 6 months, or whatever the cost is, you pay it as a one-off thing. And most of the time, a lot of the time, probably most of the time, people just pay it off. And then there's no really the reasons to continue using it. You pay it in January, say for your New Year's resolution. By the time you get to March, April, May, it's like you can't even remember it, So I felt like I needed something that was going to be kind of more visible in terms of how it was pulling at you. And that's why I made it £1 a day. That when it came through in the meditation, £1 a day every single day. My thought was, and the feeling was, and how it came through meditation was, that if you're investing £1 every single day, if you're giving me in this vehicle, this Vortex mission, £1 a day, if you're investing in yourself every single day, one, it's going to help you remember, but two, if you're doing that every single day, there's a good chance you're going to do something about it and actually do the work. it's that kind of thing where if you pay it once a month, it's out of sight, out of mind, but it was every single day. It should spur you on to use it, but also as well, for people that are not using it, then it's like you need to get off it. There's no point in wasting your money and being there for something, that you're not taking part in or it's benefiting you, or it's a waste of money. It doesn't work, So £1 a day is what it was, with different incentives for taking over longer periods of time, and it's really it's been a fascinating journey. The programme itself, who it attracted. The number of people, it never really got beyond probably 80 or 90 members, I would think, has been on it at one time. It seems to sit at the 75 level, which has been fascinating. The people that came in the beginning, the ones that get into it in the beginning, the ones that kind of bought into it, the ones that did the work every single day in terms of the meditations, the ones that were running about the classes, that took the time to go and kind of learn and invest in themselves, and really committed to it. Most of them are still here. It's interesting that the core nucleus, and you know who you are. Thank you so much, every single one of you. Brothers and sisters, not just to me, but to each other now, which is fantastic. Even yet, last week, one of the Vortex Christmas night in, and it's just amazing for me because I know everybody personally. A lot of them are literal brothers and sisters. At a spiritual level, we're all connected, brothers and sisters. But in this human experience, how the relationships have been formed, and how close I am with a lot of the people in that group now. A relationship with all of them, but how much they mean to me, and how much I enjoy seeing them every single week for things like Boys Club or the meetups that we do online. It's been absolutely incredible, the inner circle and the core, and what's developed over the last wee bit, just with the programme, and with the inner circle people that run about it, and how they are basically come out the woodwork, and never really been. It's not something that I was looking to seek myself, like try to fill positions or roles or looking for people to come in to help me. It wasn't really like that with Michael and Fern. And then, one at a time, people would come in and offer their help to either do the reels or maybe a wee bit of business, whether it's a sounding board or sales and marketing, so it's been really interesting. There's a group of, I think there's 9 of us now, run about it, from just the 3 this time last year with Michael and Fern. The team is expanding, and it's going to expand again. It's continuing to expand. The people run about it and the ones that are coming. There's a real different kind of, I say maturity, it feels like, with this group. There's been so much drama in the past. I've had so many groups that didn't work. I've shut my eyes there and I was getting through it. I've had so many groups that didn't work, so much drama, other people's drama, no mine, that I would get caught up in, and just intentions trying to help, and it's been a nightmare a few times. And the group this time around, probably the way that I've set up as well, the way that I've done it this time, and who they are. In terms of people that are ready to do the work and responding to what it is we're actually doing. This isn't a come in here and we'll do it for you and everyone's going to get better, and that isn't what it is. That's not what the programme is. The programme is intentional living through daily practices. It takes work, and that takes a certain type of person to come in and use these modalities. First you need to learn them, learn the language, learn how it goes together. Applying it to your life, and then everything that comes with that, the expansion that comes with that, like switching off the stress, magic, but then you go inside, and start to confront the self, or get to know yourself, or see what's in there, stuff can absolutely start to come up and come out, so that internal journey, that journey that people kind of get by, it's almost, you get it without really looking for it a lot of the times. You come in and basically switch your stress off. You go inside. The first time you sit in meditation and you reconnect back into your heart and back into your soul and how you're meant to feel, you'll get a glimpse, and sometimes way more than that. Sometimes you get the direct experience of like who you really are and all that you really are. That can happen very quickly. So it's fascinating to watch. The people that are on this journey, the ones that are on about it, the ones that are doing the work, the ones that are trying to help, the ones that are trying to take it to the world with me and get it out there. It's been, the programme, the foundation, what's been learned this year. We have now got hundreds and hundreds of hours of videos, every recording, almost every single time I've spoke this year. Certainly on the camera has been recorded when I remember, which has been most of the time. We've missed a couple, but whether it's been the recordings, the intentional recordings, like sitting down with Michael and going through specific, parts to the programme, explaining the language, explaining the different parts to the programme, the different systems, how it goes together, whether it's been that, whether it's been the lives, the Zooms, the morning meditations, which was, I think it was 5 months every morning, 4 or 5 months every morning, 5:30 in the morning. lives, recordings. We've got every one of them just about. They're all on the database now, and people can tune into them. Again, I tune in myself. That space is still open every single morning. I've not been doing the lives every morning because it was too much, and I felt like my time was done with it. We basically recorded enough material to last forever, and we're still recording. Anytime I go on with the members group, we're still recording. But that period of 4 or 5 months, every conceivable meditation, from manifestation to switching off your stress to the slumber party, preparing for sleep. There was so many, and it was a great time. It was a fantastic time, and when it ended, it felt like the right time for me. I was kind of a wee bit frazzled. Anybody that's followed my journey over the last wee bit, it was really heavy going for a couple of months. I am absolutely on the bounce now. I'm feeling much better. Over the last probably 3 weeks before Christmas kind of started, things started to shift, started to change a couple of things. And contemplation, especially this time of year, I'm not done, I'm not finished. There's loads of things I want to change going into this year that's coming up, and reflection is to see where you've been and what you've done and how it's went. Taking score and seeing how you did is so important, it really is. And between the start with the programme, the 1 Day to Change Your Life in New Lanark, we did that probably half a dozen times. That was interesting how that didn't really get busy. I thought that was a great day. It was only 99 quid, maybe undervalued. Maybe people don't perceive the value in it. Going to change your life and give you all these gifts to the universe for just 99 quid, which, again, my intention to do it as cheaply as we could. Between taking the room and all the costs for the day, there are going to be more coming out in January going forward, and it'll be more expensive than that, because last year, the losses that were made in terms of financially and trying to fund this, we need to make it work, to get to where we're trying to go. So there's loads of things going to be changing. The 1 Day to Change Your Life was fantastic. The people that brought in, the group, us learning, me learning how to do those events, I think on a professional level was great, which I think a lot of this year's been about. And then the spin-offs from that, when we started to get some momentum going, it became a case of, right, okay, what's next? We did a few Breathe and Believes, and then towards bleeding into summertime, probably, end of spring into summer, the idea about the Scottish tour, and really kind of taking this mission, like missionaries taking it to the world, going and going about Scotland, which I've done a wee bit in the past. I've done it with Heal Scotland. I've been up at St Andrews, been to Edinburgh a few times, been to Glasgow obviously a few times, but that was always under somebody else's banner. Even right at the beginning with the Wim Hof stuff, 16, 17, it was under somebody else's kind of name. So this was my first really kind of the vortex, standing on my own and doing it myself. I ended up doing four venues, 4 events during the summertime, back to back. We did it, was it a week at a time? 2 weeks, I can't even remember. What I do remember, it was very intense. The plan was to originally do like 2 different locations every weekend. We dodged a bullet there because that would have been a nightmare. We couldn't have, we weren't set up for that. Maybe in the future, but this time around, again learning. We're just learning how to do it. From Aberdeen, Dundee, Aberdeen, Ayr, and then Glasgow. We did 4 dates. We went to the 4 corners of Scotland just about, and again, what a learning curve, so many lessons, and great, and a couple of things that were slightly negative from my perspective, things that could have been better. I think definitely at that level, the rest in between, still doing what I was doing, the level I was doing it, still working full time, the early mornings and all that kind of stuff in between it was probably not the right idea, because by the time, a couple of times, Aberdeen in particular, it got to the weekend and the big event, and I was running in fumes, because of the week that I'd had leading up to it. So it's been a great learning curve. The tour was fantastic. Again, I don't know how many people, 400, 500, 600, 700 people maybe came and got that experience for free. A few people got on the programme and are still running about it, are on the meditations and still in the group, the Telegram group, so that was fantastic. It was a great way to get us through the summer. And get the name out there more, again, me learning how to put it together, us learning what it took to put this stuff together in terms of costs and the business side of it with Michael and Fern, and what actually, what's involved in it, and then when that finished up, then, what's next, and it really felt like, it was like, right, okay, done and dusted, let's like kill your jets a wee bit. And at that time the programme and the way it was going together and the people run about it, the idea for the retreat, to bring back the retreats again, it'd been probably 18 months since my last retreat. So the idea was to do the retreat, and then the ceremony came through, which we did 2 this year, 2 different locations, one down the west coast, one up the west coast of Scotland. The ceremony is the reconnection back to the self. That's what the ceremony is. Remembering through direct experience, unit of knowledge or the divinity that's inside you. That's the ceremony, and all of the tools and techniques and modalities that I used to do that, to get you there. We had 2 weekends which were incredible, life-changing, and out of the there's probably 20-25 people all in. And I would say probably 70 to 80% of that, of the both groups, so 78% all in, all experience like quantum shifts in their consciousness. A lot of them, in their own words, experienced the divine, they experienced God, they experienced the light and the love and the grace that is God. They experienced that they became it, that they literally became enlightened, so that's their words. And it's all walks of life. We now have brickies who are enlightened as part of our circle, my brother. We have got grannies who are, just quantum shifts and, who they thought they were and transcending the challenges that they were facing in this madness we're living in just now. Especially after the ceremony weekend. Obviously the work can be enough, the breath work and the daily stuff, but going away and doing a weekend like that, whoever that's involved in that's something that absolutely needs to be considered. It's something that is going to be definitely part of this going forward. One of the reasons for going down to Malaga tomorrow is to check out a venue for our first international retreat, which is going to be springtime this year. So that's dates are just about to be confirmed. They'll be released by the time I'm back. I'm back the start of the year, 2nd I think we're back. So the dates will be released the first week in January, as well as everything else I'm going to talk about a wee bit once I finish this bit up. So the Scottish tour, the ceremony retreat. Again, the community was building by the end of the year, the realisations and the work they've been put in, and how tired I was starting to become, and then the understanding of the significance of, spending time with each other in terms of within the community. That was really important, obviously to the people within it because of where they were at and what they were learning. But it has become so important to me and my wife as well, Jill, who's been on the last 2 ceremony retreats, getting about people. Jill, as well as just being just light, just goodness, and just absolutely awesome in every way. As a trained yogi, so she practices, teaches seasonal yoga as well as yin yoga. The big yin, I call her. She doesn't like that, and she just laughs. So she's been part of it as well, and excited for that kind of stuff, me and her doing more together. We have got 1-day retreats planned at the Vortex going forward, ceremony retreats planned at the Vortex, as well as the weekend retreats. There's going to be at least 2 of them before summer, and then there's going to be a longer retreat as well between 5 and 7 days, and that's going to be absolutely in the sun. We're looking at, it's probably going to be Malaga. 99.9% is going to be in Malaga before the summer, towards the end of spring. So dates will be released for that. I would imagine the first week in January, by the end of the first week in January, that's all going to be getting released. So again, the ceremony, time together, and everything that happens within that sacred space. No phones, good food, only goodness to people, meditations, the breath work, the cold exposure, wee bit of expansion through the plants, which is, a lot of people think that's what it's all about. It isn't. It's all about intention and reconnection with the divine through meditation and using, the breath work and, all that good stuff to get there, how we switch off the nervous system, and then the intentional breath going inside and reconnecting back into the self. It's all about meditation. All the different modalities are just, they're the things, the tools that we use to get you there. So having a week, 5 days to a week to do that and be in that space together, especially with the sun, and hopefully get our own swimming pool and close to the sea would be nice as well, getting into the water. So it's so that's really exciting. That's going to be a kind of vehicle within the Vortex. And there's loads of different things, thinking about this, the Godcast, the Squadcast, the different events, the different workshops. They've been created this last year. It's been a fantastic year. It really has. And it was nice for me to, I think, come off the rails a wee bit and be absolutely burst November into December, and then now just really starting to get some wind in my sails and get going again for the new year ahead. And I have never been more certain. I have never been clearer in my intentions, especially as I start to make my way to the next stage of my life as I'm getting older. What am I going to do with this? What's the plan with it? And the plan has never changed. I think now it's just got a lot more focus and a lot more people on about it with similar intentions, which is to take it to the world. I've said for the longest time now that I am the custodian of this work. The way that I've been able to work this out, the way that I've put it together, the way that I have learned from some of the best teachers that I've ever been, certainly in our lifetime, even though some of them are, some of them are now no longer. But the people that I learned from, these, this system that I put together, how it came through for me, and how quick it happens, and the impact, the positive impact, the way that it helps people find relief, and not just that, to find the ultimate, from relief up to the ultimate level of where you would like to be would be transcendence. That freedom of, getting beyond everything, finding that place that it's meant to be, that joyful, easy, way of living that human beings in this world that we are in, is probably how it should be, and it isn't for so many, so this programme, this system, and the way that I am trying to take it to people, the way that we're sharing it, we've now got the apprenticeship programme, people are coming in who I'm teaching, there's an exchange in there where I'm gifting to them everything that I've picked up so they can then go and pass it on. I've always said that this can be learned by anybody. It's for me, I think back to where I was, like Ghost of Christmas Past. I think back to the early 90s Christmases, lying on the couch after being up all night. It's like Wayne Dyer said, every saint's got a past and every sinner's got a future. And the evolution and what's available to us all as human beings, because the spiritual being, the spiritual essence is inside every one of us. That's the challenge that we face just now. It's a separation from that. And leading up to Christmas, watching the madness unfold, standing in some of these shops and watching some of the wee boys and wee lassies just pulling out credit cards and spending fortunes, and knowing, well, you can tell when somebody's decked out and stuff that's expensive, you can see, and it's just the level of just, it's not abundance, it's almost like it's gross, how far we've went, the commercial model of Christmas in the world, and and how really little it means, the amount of Waynes that are sitting this morning and probably, they'll never look at a lot of the toys ever again, and I've been watching us, the amount of stuff that gets binned, even when it comes out of Christmas crackers, and the more money you spend in Christmas crackers apparently, with the key rings, you end up just binning, it's just shite, it's just waste, so where does that go? So it's no good, none of that stuff, none of that side of it, the whole commercialisation and the kind of the separation and what we've been taught that Christmas is and what this holy time is, and this fact that as far as it being Jesus' birthday and give me a break, I'm not buying any of that stuff, but it depends what you bring to this holiday time, this holy time is to get the space and to take some time and reflect, look back, absolutely, great to look back, and then we get it just now, and then more importantly, going forward, great time of year. New Year is a great time of year, to set, I wouldn't set your goals, I'm not really into goals and motivation or, New Year's resolutions, they normally don't work. Obviously I hate motivation, but I absolutely love inspiration. And this time we're moving into, it's never been more needed. And I think for me it's the balance, how do you get the balance? One of my students a couple of weeks ago asked me, how do you, scared to go through a ceremony, scared to go through and get really commit to this work because of how committed they are to the other side of it, making money and being successful and, becoming the man and because they're aware as well that they know what they're doing, they're feeding the ego, absolutely, and they're enjoying it, and the realisation that the human body and the human experience in this world that we're in, it's a huge part of it. And it's something that I've, obviously considered a fair bit, the spiritual journey. I know people just now within the group that are basically on the spiritual path and the whole, the financial side and the economic side of life and what it takes, it's not of any interest to them, to their detriment. I have absolutely been at that stage, so many bits of my life, with a spiritual journey, how the world, and it's like, okay, fuck it. It doesn't matter, and you end up getting this kind of spiritual bubble, which doesn't work either. And I've been contemplating the kind of how do we get through it, and I heard one of my teachers, Babaji, he was quoted the other day talking about how, to be a bird in this world you need two wings. You need the human wing, the ego and the third dimension, and also the spiritual wing, the two wings to fly. And part of that system, the Sajmark system, the great masters who are saints, they always believed that you should always work and always contribute, to be part of the world, to take your place in the world and to, be an appreciator in the world, to make things better, to bring your gifts, through whatever it is, whether it's your intellect or whether it's your labour, to bring that to the world absolutely and contribute, but also at the same time, the spiritual journey. is a huge part of it. And that's where, I will continue to beat the drum. That's what this is all about. All the other side seems to be taken care of, but it's how you find that balance. And interestingly enough, I was the same gentleman who was talking about he's been talking about the collapse forever. He was one of the first truthers ever. He's been a truther for like 20 years, and he's watched the progress of the truth movement, and all the different all the stuff that goes together, and talks often about the collapse of civilization, and how what it's going to be like when there's no money and there's no presents or toys, and it's really interesting for me. It's something I've also considered a lot of the past years, like. But we're so wrapped up and so caught up, in the materialistic way of living, the desiring things and the needing things and the getting things and the working towards things and attaining them, and that never-ending loop it's an absolute addiction, and it's there. Some would say by design. We are in that. Human beings are in that loop. There's no question about it. And what would happen if it wasn't there? What would happen if all that was taken away? If the entire system fell and we had nothing? How would for where we are just now? It would obviously be a massive shift. It'd be such a huge jump, to get to that place. But to see how far we're removed, from even probably 300, 400, 500 years ago, with the way our ancestors were connected to the land and how they lived, and what Christmas probably looked like to them. It's just fascinating the time we're in. And never been more certain that the spiritual practices are more needed than they've ever been, because the imbalance is so great in the opposite direction. It's broken, it's so top heavy. The financial system we're living in, the banking system, the ways of the world, is so obscene, and it's a swamp, it's a sewer, it's broken, it's a cesspit that leads to nothing much good. You think of greed and money, and talking about the root of all evil and what people do to attain it, and it's just fascinating how the whole thing is set up. So we need to balance with that. So that's the intention, is to bring that into 2025. Is to go again, to kick on. Going to get a wee bit of holiday over the next week or so, starting to slow down after Christmas. I was working right up until the Monday night. Didn't finish to the Monday night, so the day off, Christmas Eve. Been off obviously since then. We 6 days with Michael and Fern, we bit of busman's holiday, we bit of sunshine, locations for the retreat, and as well as much planning and the release of everything that's coming in 2025 through the Vortex. Excited for that, excited for the programme, the people running about it. The apprentices are now within it and learning, so they can go and go their own journey and pass that on, which is fascinating. And how we take this entire vehicle to the world, that's the plan for this year. We're going to get as best a shot as we can, and it starts in January. We go again. I was tempted to release the big release version 2 of the programme is ready to go. Michael's got it ready to go. And the plan was to release it in January. That was the original plan. It's been like that for the last probably 2 or 3 months. Wait to January. And just over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been thinking about how, version 2, which is really feels like the programme is ready now. It's complete with the app and all the kind of ways we've put it together this year. It feels like now it's at a time where we go, right, okay, it's done and dusted. And I will still add to it, but it feels like it's ready. I'm certainly happy with it to the point where it feels like great to stand beside it. Great, fantastic. But the January and all the clamour for attention and New Year's resolutions and all that kind of stuff, I thought, why don't we just wait? Let January come and go. The start of January, the New Year's resolutions, they'll be done by the end of the first week, and then people will be jumping out of windows by the second and third week. So what can we do? What can I do to help? All joking aside, that's not funny. The amount of the stress and strain that people are going to be under in January. Once Christmas, the bills start to come in and the realisation of not having enough, and here we go again. The doom very quickly comes in. So the intention when I was sitting in meditation was, how can I help people in January? How can we basically continue this work, do something a wee bit different, do something that's calling me, something that excites me, which was great. And we've done that all year, even at finishing up the end of the year. The experience live online, which feeds into what I'm going to talk about next. So the experience live online every Tuesday night for all the weeks was fantastic. Different headings every week, and the plan was to just bring people in, give them the experience, because you can't really get it in words. You need to basically, or nobody can basically tell you about it. You need to get it through your own direct experience. That's where that came from. And fantastic, and also the desire to, then what do we do with that? How do we make that better? And the next step up for that is the experience live, is to come and get on about it in person, which is very different again from sitting online. We will still do the Tuesday nights, I would imagine, at some point in the future. I'm going to back off from for at least January, but I'm going to replace that, and we have done we've taken one of the room we used to one day to change your life down in New Lanark Hotel. So from basically the last 3 weeks in January, we have a room with space for probably 50 to 80 people lying down. It's going to be a free event. It's going to be called The Experience Live, and it's an opportunity for anybody to come in, anybody that's been on the experiences, anybody that's been to any of the events, the workshops, been to the Vortex, anybody who's struggling, has never been before and would like to come in about and see what it is that I'm doing. Come and get the experience live. It's going to be every Sunday, 10 o'clock in the morning. I do believe the exact times, dates, locations, all the different where the room's going to be is going to be released by the turn of the year. It won't be the first Sunday back because all the schools and work going back to work, but from the second Sunday in January, it's going to be at New Lanark Hotel. And then on the third, so basically 1, 2, 3, we'll do the 3 Sundays in a row. And then the third Sunday, which is the last Sunday in January, that's going to be the release of the programme version 2, and that's going to be a one day to change your life. So the 2 Sundays, free event, breathwork, relaxation, meditation, switch off the stress, come and get on about it, see what it's like, see if you like it, see if you would like to continue and get on about this work a wee bit more. And then on the final Sunday in January, a year to the date, to the day, or to the last Sunday in January, it's going to be that's our anniversary. So version 2 is going to get released then. The plan is, get the New Year's resolutions at the road, see who's serious, who wants to get on about it, and then by the end of January we go and we launch it, and then off the back of that we'll have the dates for the retreats, the workshops, all the information relating to the programme. The community is a huge focus this year. Getting time together is really exciting. The people that are just running about it and spending time together. That's something that's very exciting. So 2025, looking forward to it. Even just January, we'll basically get right up to spring. Between the retreats and all the other stuff we're working on, as well as the stuff that's been about the whole year. Friday nights in, we've got Boys Club on a Monday night. We've got the Sunday service is live online. We had the Tuesday night of the experience. We had Wednesday night at the river. I almost forgot about that. That was a great kind of end of summertime. We went down to the river, Molesey Bridge every Wednesday night, get the fire going. Again, that was really quiet. I kind of expected that to be a wee bit busy, but the people that showed up was just incredible. And the anniversary from that with McFadyen last year when they got on about it. So not a single bit of it's been in vain. I've always felt like it's the right people, the right numbers that are attracted to this. You can't gate to anybody. You really can't. That's why the voucher scheme and all that, and I'd like to gift this to somebody, it doesn't work. It really doesn't work. You need to come and get it for yourself. It's a timing thing. So the ones that have came, the ones that have stuck on about it this year, as we continue forward together into 2025, there is so much goodness coming. We're needing a couple of wee breaks in certain things just to fall, and already those are starting to happen. I can feel them already. There's possibilities of accessing different institutions that I've been trying to get in for a wee while, and through no work of my own, simply through intending, people are coming in and offering possibilities that might be being able to get into certain places and help certain groups of people, which would be fantastic. So there's loads of things going on, loads of things for me to get excited about, which is the most important thing for any of us. Enjoying your work and the desire to help people. That's what it's all about. Reconnection back to God. That's it. It's dead simple. Reconnection back to the divine that's inside you. It's inside every single one of us. It makes better every single thing that it touches. We're experiencing miracles. People are literally experiencing miracles. There's no other way to say it. They're transcending stuff that they've been holding onto and carrying, whether it's dis-ease or whether it's the mental stuff, the traumas and the heartbreak and the heartache. People are getting beyond that stuff, by doing this work. So that's exciting to be able to continue that forward and keep going and keep moving and see where it takes us. So onwards and upwards, inwards and upwards as one. Excited for just about everything, as you can probably hear in my voice. Very much looking forward to going away. It's been nearly 3 years since we were away in the sun together, me and my wife, which is unacceptable and something needs to be changed. It's a party, definitely. It's so easy to get busy, even with the best intentions, especially this last year. It's been non-stop, so to get 6 days together, spend a bit of time with Michael and Fern, get some sun on our backs, get a bit of space together. And with that kind of time, that's a lot of the time that the contemplation is going to be about, what's next, what's coming up, and really just getting excited without being too specific. We've already got January taken care of with the Sunday services down at New Lanark, the Experience Live, the one day to change your life, and so January's taken care of. So there's already something to look forward to. That's a hugely important part of this, all of this work, having something to look forward in January, getting excited about the changes and the expansion that's going to take place in the year ahead, because the way I see it, it's going to be difficult, and without doing this work, this specific work, The internal practices, like getting quiet and learning what meditation is, experiencing meditation, learning to breathe, so you can switch off your nervous system, so you can shut the fuck up and get a break for you, so you can learn how to sleep properly. If you're not sleeping properly, that's a huge challenge. And then it feeds into diet and awarenesses as to what you're, doing to yourself, and then intentions to how you make it better, and then it's all about alignment, to be in alignment, to be in that aligned state with the divine. And that's what meditation is, that's what it's all about, and we as a team are absolutely planning to let more people get in about it this year, one soul at a time, every single day. That's always been the plan, and I think we did more than that this year. I think we got definitely more than one soul a day, so it's been an absolutely huge success this year. I have loved it. I am looking forward to a break. I'm really excited, one eye in 2025, so much gratitude to every single one of you that have been on about it this year. So, thanks, love, appreciation, what we've created, the friendships, the bonds, the stuff that I'm learning, from these incredible souls who are my students coming in and learning this work, and then the feedback from them and their spin on what I'm doing and how it's just fascinating how everybody's winning out of it. And it makes everything better, as Michael says. Every single thing this work touches, it makes better, guaranteed. That's the truth. It does. It makes it better. Who doesn't want to feel better? And then we understand the benefits of that just by feeling good, becoming a well-being. The whole world can change. So have a fantastic holiday, a belated Merry Christmas. Best wishes for the year ahead. Please get excited. Great time to leave it all behind, to make some changes, to do things in a different way, and so we can go and create a different reality, so we can make this world and get it back to the way that it's meant to be. That's the plan. Onwards and upwards. Love and light to you and yours. God bless. Peace out, and bye for now.